Disclosure Day was, well, a bit of a mixed bag. I really enjoyed the espionage Ed Snowden style thriller aspect of the plot and the found footage scenes where they release the proof of alien life. Phenomenal. But bloody hell, the script. When you see seasoned Hollywood veterans really cut corners and get really lazy and ignore the basic rule of thumb of storytelling, show, don't tell, is really infuriating. And combine that with entire character arcs that are pointless, storylines that seem really far fetched, just completely derails the momentum. This was definitely a missed opportunity. So the story centres around Dr. Daniel Kellner, Josh O'Connor's character, who has stolen information from corporate and government sources about alien life in our universe and is on the run with his girlfriend Jane. Has to give the information to the proper people so that they can disclose it to the world. And on the other side, there's a weather girl called Margaret Fairchild who's starting to experience different abilities where she can read people's minds and speak different languages out of nowhere, and suddenly their paths converge, and together they must seek out answers to this information that they have about alien life in our solar system. There were aspects of this film that I really did enjoy, others that I just felt were terrible and far fetched. There were entire character arcs that just felt unnecessary, and a storyline that I did enjoy, which was the Dr. Kellner storyline. But the way they weave these two storylines together, it just seemed a bit slapped together and in there for the sake of it because they wanted to beef up the story and beef up the film a little bit. It was also way too long at 2 hours and 25 minutes. They could have just cut the Emily Blunt storyline out completely and saved themselves 20 to 25 minutes, maybe even half hour off the film, and would have been perfectly fine with that. I really enjoyed the Ed Snowden style espionage thriller where it was just one man trying to survive using his own initiative to evade the authorities and sort of work with his handler, played by Coleman Domingo. And, you know, that part of it was really cool. But they just had to really go a little bit off the rails a little bit with the alien technology part of it. And they could have kept it like much more grounded and more human. Whereas with this, they didn't need to go that far with this storyline. There were a lot of times that things just weren't explained that clearly. Like, for example, when they touched the device, they didn't really say what would happen to a person when somebody touched it with their bare skin. And then you see it happen, and the guy disappears, and then he comes back and he's completely fine. And you're like, okay, whatever. Colin Firth's performance I thought was pretty decent as the corporate entity representative and trying to chase down Josh O'Connor's character. The best by far was actually when they released the found footage of the alien life, where the newsroom is like in absolute chaos, and you can really feel that chaos through the screen, and you can see all the controllers going absolutely mad on the telephones, and you can see how intense the reporter is getting when she's looking at the footage and she's like in complete disbelief, and you feel that as the audience as well. But what lets it down is the big reveal at the end, and you just think, oh, why? You could have just left it as that. And would have preferred it, because then I'll be walking out of that theatre being like, aliens really exist? Is that AI? Or is that faked? Or just rattle a few questions and let what's on screen do most of the talking. That's the problem with this film. Sometimes it treats you like an absolute child, and instead of showing you what they're trying to convey, they tell you. And even at times, they even say, oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm terrified. And you just think there's a much better way of doing that. You can you don't have to tell us. You don't have to hold our hands throughout the entire film. It really frustrated me because it's really lazy on the director's point of view, and just think, come on. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Some points is good, others it isn't, and other times it's just like absolutely wild and a little bit crazy. And if they just kept it into like a more intimate storyline and kept it grounded and human and realistic, in inverted commas, it would have made for a better film. But they had to really Hollywoodinize it, or if that's a word. So yeah, let me know what you think of the film, and let me know what your favourite Steven Spielberg film is. And please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you in the next video.